So hello everyone, this is Judith, Twin Flame Essentials with another video. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, today Spirit gave me this spread. I was asking what you need to know on your twin flame journey. And I was given those cards and ta-ta, this one in addition, the Lovers, right? So yeah, and then I was looking at it and I wasn't really like, I really didn't know how to put all of this together. It was so many cards, and then all of a sudden I knew what this was all about. Those are all those things that are covering up your divine love, right? This togetherness, right? This is divine feminine and divine masculine energy in perfect balance. This is who you are, right? This is for you in your system, right? You have divine feminine and divine masculine energy, and this needs to be balanced. And you are like a system, you share an energy system with your twin flame, and you cannot break one away, right? And one influences the other. That's how it is with twin flames. You're in this system. You cannot escape, and it doesn't matter really whether you are like on the other end of the planet, right? So yeah, and so those energies are like, you know, this is already there. You do not have to go, you do not have to create it. It is already done. This unconditional love is there, right? It is there. You just have to rediscover it, and you have to unlearn certain things that are blocking you from fully embody this and fully embrace this frequency of and this vibration of unconditional love, right? So let's have a look. What issues do we have here? Well, we can clearly see that those cards are different than this vibration of unconditional love, right? We have a lot of swords. We have the Eight of Swords here, which is usually the eight swords surrounding a woman with a blindfold, and she could easily liberate herself, but she chooses to stay in that place. She's stuck in her mind. Yeah, the swords are all about the mind. We have the Six of Swords. And what's interesting to me is that this person is alone here. Usually it shows a boat with a woman, a man, and a child, right? And it means you're coming into calmer waters. Universe is helping you to either slow down certain things so that you can handle them better, or like shift you into different energies, right? But a lot of shadows with those dark birds here and the wind. So it's a dark place, it's a lower place, it's a lower energy, many things to transform, to free up. Yeah, it's cold, it's the wind. She only has this suitcase here, so the abundance, divine abundance, is missing, clearly missing with this card, right? And on top, and it goes together for me a little bit, because the color goes from one card into the other. Do you see that? As if it was painted together. And yeah, the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, right? Equally. So this seems to be out of balance, right? Usually we are the ones, you watching this video, the ones who are like not able to fully receive. This is why our divine counterparts, very often what they have to give, they give it to someone else, right? Because we're not open, we cannot receive it, right? That's just an energetic process. And with the swords, yeah, we have the Three of Swords with that's the heartbreak card, right? You see, that's That's on top of this. This needs to be healed. Otherwise, you cannot be in this energy, right? That's where you have to be. You have to already to be in unconditional love. And unconditional love is love of self, love of life, love of God, love of men, love of women. Yeah, it's love, right? In so many different ways. Friendship as well. Yeah, and we have the Queen of Swords, right? She is about clarity, but she's also about revenge, right? When she is like this, and this can be a very mean character. So could be that someone is interfering with your union, right? This is not uncommon, that there are other players in either in your life or the life of your divine counterpart. Usually when there is someone in his life, there is someone in your life as well. And it doesn't always have to be a partner. That's what we often don't see, or we are not aware, that any relationship that we tolerate that is unhealthy, that is toxic, right? This talking about toxic relationships is affecting our divine counterpart as well, right? So this is not only for us, this is for both of us. Yeah, so yeah, and so you see a lot of swords, a lot of things that keep us trapped in our mind. And we have pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which reminds me of, it's a germ here, right? I don't know what you call this. I think it's germ. So you plant something, right? This is sprouting from this germ. This is not a fruit, but it's something that you put in the soil in order to cultivate something, right? You've got this and you plant it and for a new beginning, right? And yeah, it reminds me of my hands. So whenever I look like this, then I've been in the garden, because I like to do some work in the garden, to dig the weeds, to plant, to harvest, whatever. And then my hands, they used to look like that. So it's talking about grounding as well, right? And we sometimes have difficulties with grounding as well, because this refers to us not wanting to be here, really. So yeah, but I don't want to be too long, because here's the Tower card and the Magician card. So we have two major arcanas as well. Yeah, and I actually wanted to take the opportunity to look a little bit into the issues that are on top of this unconditional love energy, which is already there, right? As I said, it's not something that you have to reinvent, but as you see with those fine lines and everything, the energy flows, right? And when through both of you, and if there is a block somewhere, then the energy cannot flow. And usually it can also show up in the body to some extent, doesn't have to, but shows up in your life or in your body, wherever. So here, what do we have here? So this could be belief systems that have to do with self-destruction, right? Maybe you were not, maybe you have experienced something, usually as a child, as a very young child, where you were not allowed to express yourself, where you had to hold back and even damage yourself to some extent, right? You could not be true to yourself and to your true impulses, but you had to hold back. You were not able to express because it was not welcome, right? And you link this self-limitation, usually when we are like either in the womb or maybe 1 to 3 years old, not older than that. We link everything to love, right? To love, to peace, sometimes to order, but usually to love, right? And so this belief system is on top. You have to transform it, right? As you know, I can help you with this. You can send me an email. The address is in the description box below. And I send you my offers. And I can really quickly determine those issues and resolve them once and for all. I can really help you, and I can show you how to do this. I can give you a lot of tools for you to go on with your work on your own, right? To some extent, because of course you need to do the work. And yeah, and if you want to do something on a regular basis already now, you can choose to click on the link below and sign up for a free webinar and that I've created. You find valuable information and a part that you can repeat every day. I recommend this to clear the energies. Yeah, so it's a commitment for us to do our work on a regular basis, right? To look at our shadows, you know, see the birds here, to look at our shadows and the issues, because they don't go away by doing positive affirmations. Just not possible. It's not possible. It's those are things that are really hardwired in your brain, and not only your brain, but you're a multidimensional being, and those things are on different levels, right? So yeah, maybe this is true for you, right? That your expression, your some of how you expressed in the world and you were loving life was not welcome. And here also, it's giving and taking, giving and receiving, right? And so something that you were giving was not received. This can, see the infinity symbol here, that needs to flow, right? The energy needs to flow freely, and something has blocked that energy. It could have been something in the womb. For example, the fact that you were not welcome, that your parents didn't want to have you, right? This is doing a lot of damage. So this deep rejection that you were experiencing was giving you the sense of, no matter what I have to give, my purpose in life, right? My whole purpose in life is worthless. So then you will not receive anything, right? You have to clear that. So this is an issue, right? So let's move on to this one. So yeah, Ace of Pentacles, this also talks about abundance, right? Maybe you were taken for granted. Maybe you were just taken for granted and maybe also ignored. In some cultures, the girls are simply ignored. They're simply not valued as much as boys. And this maybe gave you the sense that you do not deserve. Or maybe you've experienced some kind of a shock. That's also something that's coming to my mind. And so you did not want to ground. This shock could have been in the womb or as a baby or a toddler, whatever it was, but then you refuse to ground. It's also, of course, past lives, right? Sometimes we carry this shock energy from past lives, and yeah, for sure we all do that, and we have a hard time grounding. Okay, those are examples, right? So that you get an idea what this is. Yeah, and as I said, this woman here is alone, and that's maybe true for you, that you have been alone. Maybe you have been alone in the hospital, or you've been abandoned. Your mother, your father, they had to maybe they had to go to the hospital, and they left you with someone, maybe someone from the family, but it was just feeling different and was feeling lonely, right? I'm getting that the whole atmosphere, also the sounds around you, were completely different, were not the things that you were usually hearing. The whole atmosphere was was changing and was leaving you very alone, right? And so, yeah, you cannot get from feeling alone to feeling this togetherness and this completeness, wholeness, and harmony, this union, right? You have to clear this in order and to unlearn all the things that you have learned, right? Yeah, so those things. And yeah, and the magician, I'm not so sure about the magician. The magician is pretty much in sync with this card here, but it could also talk about manipulation, right? You have to maybe like see it a little bit like this, and then it could be manipulation. So this is talking about someone, maybe you, or this could, everything that I'm talking about could also be true for your divine counterpart, of course. Maybe you had at some point as a baby the feeling that you needed to control things, right? Things were not going so great for you, and you were just trying to control everything because you've at some point you were feeling pretty helpless. Helplessness is a big issue also for all of us, and shows up in a variety of different issues where we were left helpless, and no one is to blame, really. This is just we've taken on those things in order to clear them from our field, and more broadly from the field of our soul group, and extended soul group, from our, of course, from our clan and ancestors, right? We clear out those issues for our ancestry, and more broadly sometimes for the collective. It really depends. So yeah, we've taken on those things. It's there's no blame, no blaming, no shaming, right, for any family members or whatever. Yeah, but still, we have linked love to control, or we might have linked love to loss of control, and then we find ourselves always in the same cycles, trapped in the same cycles with same kind of people, very often toxic people, right? And yeah, and those tower moments, because this tower is talking to me about some kind of panic, and that you have linked love to panic. You've maybe experienced this panic, could very well also have been in the womb, but at a very young age, and you just, it's usually love of life. Love of life equals panic. And guess what happens when you move into a life situation that feels really good, that feels like love of life? Oh, that's what I always wanted. That feels really good to me. That's what I want to create. Boom, panic. Something comes along that gives you this sense of panic, and here you go, right? It just kicks in. The S hits the fan, right? So that's how it goes, right? Because it's linked to love. Everything that I've explained, right? It always comes with love of life or love of self. So you can do so many exercises you want, as many exercises as you want for self-love. If you have not resolved this, if this is an issue for you, then the panic will kick in. Something will happen in your life that is creating this panic, exactly this flavor that you have experienced, right? And it's not wrong. It's just showing you that you have this issue. You want to be able to read this, and I can show you how to do this and how to work your way through all of those things, right? Three of Swords. Yeah, this is clearly heartbreak. This is despair. And very often we have taken on the despair of other people. Maybe your mother was desperate and you felt this despair. You've deeply, like, you were connected, right, to your mother, and her despair was your despair. And so despair is then love, right? So this, in a way, this is sometimes it's not exactly the same, because this is intense heartbreak, but also this longing for another person, longing for the other person. That's not love. You cannot go from longing to union, not possible, because longing has always this sense of wounded, right? So yeah, we want to heal our hearts, right? And clear all the issues that are many issues here, right? One of them is despair, maybe abandonment as well. We can be desperate for many reasons, heartbroken for many reasons. Yeah, but yeah, you know what I want to say, right? And here we've already talked about that. Could be that you have experienced very moody parents, right? Whereas some things that they were doing felt like vengeful. And so you always experience vengeful people in your life because you've linked this to love. You want to clear this, disentangle that and free that up, so that the vengefulness is the vengefulness, nothing else, right? And here's the love, and those things do not come automatically when we move forward in love. We want to be there and not, it's as if this is connected, and every time I move into love, whoop, this comes along, right? Yeah, that's how it works in my perspective. So I've experienced this on my own journey. I experienced this with clients, and it's really so life-changing, and energy is really shifting once you disentangle all of that and free up who you truly are. Unconditional love, that's your frequency, right? So yeah, take care everyone. I see you in the next video. Okay. Bye for now.